Hello and welcome back to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. For today, we are going somewhere cold. And apparently I've got more than 50% of the scans in the game now. Neat. The fact that it said my playtime is not even 5 hours, when I've streamed this game for at least 6, it must not count time spent in menus like the logbook. Yeah, there's no way it can count that time if that's what it's going to show. Maybe even the map, it doesn't count. So I just got access to a flame beam. Or not beam. Well, yes, beam thing. I got a fire thing. And I believe there is something burnable here.
There, stranger.
So, yeah, we've got to go... We gotta go use our flame weapon in places to get things before we go anywhere icy. Also, I believe we've got a... Oh, no, we already deposited those. Which makes me wonder, did I already go to the place where I am thinking of? Also makes me wonder, how do enemies react to that? It seems okay. It's better than a missile, though not as quick. I'm stuck. Oh, no, I did not already do this. Hooray. I love when my time isn't wasted by myself. So, I don't think the Garden of Remembrance is going to have anything that we need. I could be wrong, but I don't think it will. And if it does, well, I'm sure we'll find out when we get our electric shot and can activate the GF probe. This isn't where I wanted to go. So from here, I believe we should go to the cargo launcher.
Good luck out there, Samus. I'm on comm.
Be nice if we could skip these scenes, but I understand it's a load. Though, oh, never mind, we can skip it. This is the load. I wonder how long those take on original Switch. And if it ends up feeling like Samus is in the air for a kind of hilariously long time. Because honestly, with how long it was here, it felt about right for the distance and speed. Perfect? No, but close. Well, that can't be good for us. Acid rain? Maybe not acid. Maybe some sort of mutagen. Green energy showers have strengthened this variant and altered its body markings, giving them a prominent green coloration. And yet, it's the same scan. I didn't mean to come out here just yet. Now that we've got our fire shot, oh, multiple layers of webs. Had to fire 3 times to get 10 shots out of it. There's at least one other web that we need to burn away that I can remember. Statue there that we can't harm yet. This room will have the webbing we need to burn. Yes. One more shot expansion. And then I think that was it. Or no, that was psychic boots to get this, so we already got that. And I don't think there were any more webs around here. So yeah, time to turn around. It's faster to go this way than to go back to the cargo transporter point. Hear an item. No, I don't think I do. It's probably just that I was charging when going past a certain spot, and it made me think that maybe I heard an item. And just to confirm, yep, fire shot does not break that. We need a larger impact, which is going to be probably either super missiles or boost ball. Though I doubt it's going to be boost ball. It's probably super missiles. This long hallway does help it seem like Fury Green is farther away from Soul Valley, which that part's nice. Though it does feel kind of lame that we get load screens so close to one another in this game. Because that's 100% a load screen. It's loading in the Fury Green. And then we load into here. And then as soon as we go through this door over this way, we're going to get another load screen. I mean, we get a door and then a small hallway, but then going through here, it's a load screen into Soul Valley. Not a big one, but still a load. Bothering to shoot those when I'm just gonna bike away. So, green energy showers make enemies more dangerous by the look of things.
If you're unsure where to go, you can always explore the unsurveyed areas. Have you checked out the Snowy Mountain?
That's where I was going. So first, since we got the fire shot, this is now doable by us. Also, did that always have a red glow to it? Basically just saying, hey, you need fire for this. Green energy crystals collected by ancient Lemorn in anticipation of the prophesied Chosen One. Strong impact will break the container. Arthropod morphology. Web crawler. Arthropod variant found in the underground shrines of Soul Valley. They possess a spinneret on their abdomen and produce thread from their telson when nesting. Since these don't seem to be, like, actual hostile enemies, I'm not gonna bother reading their whole thing. And that's what shot ammo looks like. interesting. Surely there's some reason that we can do that. Oh, hello. I'm guessing what they want is for us to use these like this. Hello, E-Tank over there. Surely there's a way to get that. What have we here? Beam combo, maybe? Charged fire shot. Penetrative projectiles, you say? Large amounts of psychic energy detected in the crystal in the statue's forehead. Analysis implies this charge produces an energy field for teleportation. So if I poke it, it teleports me somewhere? Teleports me outside where I don't want to be. So now we know that in the future we have to grab any energy tanks or whatnot before teleporting out. Oh good, they kept at least some of the webs burned away. They didn't keep these guys gone. So to get that, I am assuming what they want us to do is basically ride the platform that I'm standing on to its maximum height. And then just jump over. Okay, maybe not, because this is max height right here. And we can't jump anywhere near close enough to that. So surely there must be some other means. I think that's all the webs in this room burnt. Well, not quite. Oh, that would do it. Kind of hoping for more shot ammo. Ooh, a large shot ammo. Okay, time to get back on the move towards the ice belt. Okay, so we just one-shot that guy by running him over. I know I'm getting a little bit off track, but it is not in my nature to leave things uncollected when I see them. But that means that either I did leave things that I saw uncollected on my first trip here, or else some of these crystals have in fact recharged from the green energy rain or have been created by it. Honestly, both are possible. Then again, there's some that clearly should have been recharged if recharging them was a thing. And now to ride this thing again. Effectively 2 load screens with exactly 1 door between them. Oh, that's skippable. And we've already explored around in here. The only thing we've gained since is the fire shot, which isn't going to help us get up there. I should use this save, though. Okay, so the enemies here are not fond of fire shots. Makes sense. Off-grid LED guide light. Fuses oxygen and hydrogen from the surrounding environment, generating heat, light, and electricity. Capsule capturing platform. Catches arriving cargo capsules. A scanner built into the floor confirms if cargo arrived safely and intact. Cargo target. Arrival point for capsules launched via the shipping system. Central cushioning absorbs all impact shock. Cryopod transport system. Cable transport system that runs between the laboratory and the crane loading area. Non-operational. The cryopod appears to have been abandoned. Its cooling system lost power and failed. And here we are in the ice belt. That looks like a GF probe. Sure is. Yeah. Or scout bot. Whatever it is. Not a GF probe. It looks GF-y. Cryopods abandoned after their delivery truck overturned. Battery charge at 0%. Non-functional. That looks like just ice. Yep. Okay, I'm not a fan of that. Because I was holding R, I didn't just tap it. So that means that not only can we not charge our standard shot without firing, we also can't charge our fire shot without firing, even though the fire shot takes ammo to fire even once. So if we want to use a charged fire shot, it's going to take 4 ammo, not 3. I don't like that. Some ice wolf things. Sorry, snow wolves. Carnivorous quadruped living in the frigid regions of ice belt. A pack hunter that surrounds its prey, its cold natural habitat makes it ill-suited to warm climates. Carnivorous hunters, they patrol their territory in packs of several dozen. Upon finding prey, they will surround it to prevent escape, whereupon groups of especially ferocious young males will take turns attacking, one after another. Once their prey has fallen, they typically feast in a hierarchical order, starting with the alpha, with a portion reserved for pregnant females and the pack's youngest members. High metabolism enables their bodies to generate heat very efficiently, enabling long treks across their territory. Unfortunately, this means they struggle to adapt to hot environments and will succumb quickly if confronted with high heat weaponry. High heat weaponry, you say? Surely, after having so many of their number just instantly destroyed, they should be smart enough to realize they're outmatched at this point. Like, most hunters eventually realize when a prey item is not worth pursuing. Okay, we're not allowed to get close enough, or too close to the edge, rather. You're just gonna take out the whole pack? Where'd the other one go? Rejoin the pack? They weren't lying about there being several dozen, that's for sure. Something tells me when this storm reaches its maximum intensity, we're going to meet the alpha. Should I be using all of my fire shots on these guys? Probably not. But they've at least been dropping some extra shot ammo. So it does, in fact, take a fire shot to one-shot them. Okay, we're starting to be attacked from all sides at this point. They're not kindly waiting their turns. I am dying here. Okay, well, this is a scripted defeat then. Small-sized cargo launcher. Machine era shipping system. Loads supplies into reinforced capsules and launches them. Offline. Hooray, the low health sound is gone. Large elevator for wheeled vehicles, used to lower container vehicles. It has an extremely high weight capacity, currently offline. And ain't going that way. I don't like that these are out of scanning range. I want to know what they are. Light maintenance tank, a smaller version of the regular maintenance tank developed to perform tasks in narrow passages, battery charge at 0%. Conduit access hatch, used by maintenance tanks. The red light indicates it is offline and locked. Pod maintenance gate, currently offline, controlled by the main control terminal, must be online to unlock. Surely that is a save room, but I can't access it because I don't have no electric shot, so maybe it's not a save room. Data terminal routes various kinds of data. Currently offline, accessible once power has been restored to the entire laboratory. Main control terminal handles executive functions for the lobby and controls power to the pod maintenance gate. It can also provide access to a hologram schematic of the facility. Lamorne Healing Pod administers intensive care, currently offline. Transport tube, a network for moving small cargo, currently offline.
All clear. I never thought I'd meet the legendary bounty hunter, Samus. In a place like this. Corporal Rieger Tokabi, Fed Sniper, Herc Unit Delta. It's good to finally cross paths with you, but tell me, where are we? We were deep in gunfire. I lost visuals, then woke with a busted comms unit and a leg to match. Now, I tried to access this terminal, but the only thing I could get operational was the gun. That's it. Then I see this here. What do you make of it?
Well, hang on a moment and I'll tell you. Stowable rotating beam turret. Spherical cannon used for neutralizing wild animals. Uses nuclear fusion to generate piercing energy rounds. Fires up to 6,000 rounds per minute.
That is one powerful turret.
Clearly. Galactic Federation sniper Rieger Tokabi. An infantryman and former hunter who specializes in long-range precision shooting, armed with a KT-6116 short to long-range rifle with visor-linked scope. Corporal Rieger Tokabi is a sniper in the Galactic Federation. Once a hunter working on remote worlds, he volunteered for Federation service in the hopes of finding stability. He enjoys solitude and dislikes working with others, always preferring to go on missions solo without a spotter. The Tokabi family has worshipped the god Solon for generations, Rieger included. He is never without his arrowhead-shaped talisman and strongly believes his continued survival is only because of its protection. Unfortunately, his beliefs are often in conflict with his missions and their use of his talents, which is a source of much loathing and personal strife.
Oh, you were able to activate this. A map of the facility. But it's corrupted. Ah, You want to go there. In that case, this elevator is the only way down, but the power's offline. One moment. There. That must be the generator room. I think we can bring it back to life. All right, you have the map. I'm no good with this leg, so I'll have to keep an eye on you from here. Luck be with you.
And now we know where we're going, so let's go.
I'll keep an eye on things from here. At least I can.
So, how do we go? From up there, I suppose. Ah, yes. This is now active. Safety hatch for cryopod transport, designed to open as a pod passes through. Its metals have deteriorated and begun to warp. A strong shock will destroy it. Well, there you go. A strong shock just for you. We fell long enough to have a load screen. Cryopod, airtight container installed with independent cooling systems for preserving an organism at extremely low temperatures, can operate on minimal power. Snow roach, a creature with a flat, soft carapace, able to live in cold environments due to its high body temperature, though its volatile body will explode on contact. So these appear to be endlessly respawning roaches, designed to make sure that we always have a supply of shot ammo, which, hey, I can use some shot ammo right now. Can also use energy. But what do you want to bet there's a save point not too far from here? Those are shriek bats. Oh, I'm sorry, dart wings. Bat variant with evolved arm and leg patagia. This creature will suspend its hind legs, then glide through the air to attack its prey. The dartwing is a chiroptera variant adapted to freezing climates. The claws at the tips of their feet are used to dig into protrusions or grade differences, enabling them to hang upside down to rest. To reduce the energy expense of bodily thermoregulation, they live in caves or abandoned buildings where fewer variances in temperature and humidity are likely to occur. They are nocturnal and have poor vision, and instead use hearing to perceive their surroundings. If they detect the sound of an intruder in their territory, they will attempt to glide down and crash into the invader using their evolved patagium. Once in flight, their trajectory will take them to the location of the original sound, meaning if their target moves quickly enough, dartwings will instead collide with walls or other objects and perish. Loading platform. Loads cryopods brought in from outside onto rails for distribution. So surely there's a save point near here, yes? Laboratory security door. Controls access to vital experimentation samples and other dangerous items. Currently locked. Locks can be managed collectively from the control room. Locks being managed collectively implies they cannot be managed individually. What if you only want to unlock one room? Ruptured pipes in the wall have led to frozen liquid obstructing the door's control hologram on this side. The door can be opened only from the other side. I should be able to melt the ice, just saying. If I was a betting man, I'd say there's a save point in here. But clearly I should not be a betting man. Accessing encrypted file. Research Diary Day 1, Endeavor. LMH 2006-2001-026. My name is Targun, and I am a researcher at this facility. I am writing this to have a record of my experiments. When the great tragedy occurred, many fled the danger within the research center. However, at the guidance of Priest Chatoya, a few of us stayed in order to perform analysis of and experiments on Griever anatomy. Our hope is to reverse the transformation by administering a solution of processed green energy to subjects brought to the facility. I want to believe we can succeed. So Grievers are transformed. Are Grievers actually secretly Lamorne? I mean, Lamorne, we got Morn in there, even though it's spelled differently. And grieving is mourning. Floor security terminal. Controls security systems on this floor. Currently offline. A linked activation device is nearby. Floor security display. Shows the locations and current state of security doors on this floor. Currently offline. Bomb slot encased in ice. The slot will function normally once the ice is melted. Ready for use. Touching the hologram will release all locked security doors. Shows the locations and current state of security doors on this floor. Red indicates that a door is locked, while green is unlocked.
Samus? Samus? You hear me? I patched into the facility speakers. I can use them to communicate. I noticed that several rooms were unlocked at once. That was you, wasn't it? Nice. Proceed with caution. You never know what's lurking.
Psychic lock unit. Developed during the Psychic era. Blocks passage with a wall of psychic energy. These locks can be released using collected TK codes. Whatever those are. And that's a shocky door, which we can't open. It is a shocky door, right? No, maybe not shocky. It's a lasso door. Well, I can't open that either. Nova DNA sequencer. Lamorne device for complex genetic sequencing, used to identify organisms and analyze genetic mutations. DNA sample storage case. Stores and displays airtight vials containing Nova DNA. Scanners are built into the vial holders to monitor the samples. Cover conceals a ventilation shaft. Its metals have deteriorated in the extreme cold and can be shattered by a strong impact. Connects to the adjacent room. Tunnel for maintenance tanks. Connects to tracking operations across the hallway. Room access is controlled by a terminal in biolab security. Once unlocked, the door can be opened by touching the hologram. Indeed. Research Diary, Day 21. Gifts. Priest Chitoya wants to install something in this room. Apparently it will be a gift to the one who will become our savior at some point in the future. But do we not need a savior right now? If our efforts are not the priority, then do the Lamorne have a future? All we can do right now is continue the experiments and believe that we will see results. I pray for the day when I can leave this dark, freezing lab and walk under the sun again. Equipped with a latch point, allowing them to be pulled down. Okay. Well, we are probably getting our lasso right here in this very room then, huh? That sure looks like a lasso. I don't like that the interact for that is clicking the left stick, so you know what I'm gonna do? I've been pressing X anyway. So instead, now I've got a button instead of stick clicking. I'm just not a fan of stick clicking in general. Bomb slot fitted with a security cap. The cap must be removed before use. Maintenance lift, currently offline. And I believe that's the extent of what we can scan in here. And just gonna open this to ensure that it does in fact get opened. There we go. Excuse me? Oh, I only pulled it down on the other side, not this side, too. Didn't realize we had to pull two down. A shot expansion isn't a terrible reward. Right, we don't shoot these doors.
If you're having trouble, have you tried scanning your surroundings?
Yeah, it's kind of what I literally just brought up a visor to do, bud. Research sample FG004, GE dosage 0.5 GRE. No abnormal cell mutation or multiplication. Research sample containing a TK code. FG021, dosage 1.9 GRE. No abnormal effects from dosage increase. FG016, 1.2 GRE. Cell multiplication is within normal value range. Research Diary Day 39, Security. Cryopods containing subjects are arriving at the lab almost daily. The pods put them into cold hibernation and maintain minimal life functions. Operation of the cooling equipment has been deemed absolutely essential, so the system has been designed to continue functioning even if the entire facility were to fall into low power mode. Similarly, thorough inspection and repair of cryopods is one of our highest priority tasks. Cryopods awaiting final examination. Pods will be redeployed if all maintenance checks pass. Cryopods awaiting maintenance inspection. Cryopod under repairs. Cooling device found to be defective. Its circuitry must be replaced. Cryopod repairs and parts replacement complete. Awaiting final check at the inspection table. Passing the check will result in redeployment. Task arm for performing internal and external repairs on cryopods, including circuitry replacement and cooling system upkeep. Okay, surely there must be something else in this room, right? And yet I spy nothing else scannable. Thinking I'd be cheeky and try and get into that cryopod, but apparently we're not even meant to be able to stand on that. Right, there was another door that we could lasso off. Path blocked by rubble from laboratory structure collapse. Blockage primarily consists of materials impervious to beams and explosives, physical forces required to clear the debris. So we gotta yank it out. And what have we here? Access code approved. Displaying organism laboratory hologram. Data download authorized. Okay, so we got a more detailed map. Lemourne Terminal for storing map data. Displays a downloadable hologram of the area when activated. Not gonna lie, I was kind of expecting there to be more through there. Because we're still only at 1. So am I missing something? I mean, there's this, but it was closed. Maybe it's going to be open now. This ain't it. Oh, I should still look around carefully. And note that I do not expect this to actually be where I'm supposed to go right now. I just figure I turned a thing on, maybe it will have unlocked this, but no, that is still locked. So I've missed something scannable somewhere, probably. Oh, wait, no. It's that. That accomplished nothing. Good news, there's 2 more of these. What, do we just gotta rip them all open? Ah, this one particularly is scannable. Sample vial containing a TK code. DNA sample ID G486. Sequence state incomplete. Host state stable. Okay, now we can get through this lock.
Whatever you're doing, it's working. Keep it up.
Light maintenance tank, a smaller version of the regular maintenance tank, developed to perform tasks in narrow passages. The light maintenance tank is a smaller model that was developed to perform repairs and other work in pipes and passageways too narrow for its standard counterpart. They were mainly deployed to the biological research facility in Icebelt. While being smaller and lighter allows for faster movement than the standard model, this comes at the cost of having weaker armor. However, if threatened, they are fitted with the same standard welding beam and are also able to emit a high-voltage shock at close range. So we gotta collect more TK codes, clearly. Security gate malfunctioning. Circuits are torn and it is not receiving any current. The gate material is otherwise indestructible. Yep, need TK codes. Lemorne-made stretcher. Frame warped by its fall, wheel rotation unaffected. It will function properly if its safety switch is disabled. Its two wheel sizes reduce resistance, allowing for easy and smooth rotation. Tempered glass is cracked in several places. A strong impact will shatter it. Diary Day 57. Anxiety. Green energy dosage results show no significant benefits at this time. Essentially, a rapid increase in cellular proliferation speed and a doubling of the number of cells increases growth and affects vitality. But why has this vector taken such an abnormal turn? And what can be done to shift it back to its original direction? Our time is limited, and I'm worried about our remaining stockpiles. Surely this is a save room. Yes, it is. I was starting to think it had been quite a while since we last saw one. So we got a bunch of indestructible doors. And no obvious routes into them. Except from here. And all the rooms are interconnected. Controller is vibrating, and it gets stronger as I near this. I'm guessing this has a TK code. Yep. I didn't notice any strong vibrations for the other TK codes, but for this one I did. So there's one. Ooh, we need 4 this time. Test capsule with temperature control function. Contains a blood sample. Contains a prototype medicine. Contains samples of a poisonous liquid. Contains a body tissue sample. I feel like if you're gonna have these all look the exact same, You should have something to make it easy to determine from the outside what's in each one. But then again, I guess if you've got psychic powers, maybe you don't have to care about all that. So these two rooms are interconnected, but their doors are sealed shut, with no means of opening at the moment. I'm gonna go this way first. Day 81, Awakening. The subject is in hibernation in the cryopod, and its metabolism is at minimum levels. Unfortunately, we were unable to perform the experiments we'd like with the subject in this state. We are unable in this state. If the subject's metabolic function is inactive, a reversal of its rapid cellular proliferation cannot occur. First, we must wake the subject and restore its normal metabolic function. This also means restoration of consciousness, so appropriate sedation will be crucial. Liquid appears to be a sedative variant. Has clamps for fastening containers and specialized omni wheels for improved maneuvering. Okay, seems there's not a whole lot we can do here without restoring some power. Recovery pod B1JUTRD31. Used to place specimens in stasis and heal damage to their internal organs. Pod now in low power mode. It's got a griever inside. Pod A1 SPDDR07. Griever enclosed after an experimental Lamorne restoration procedure. So grievers are Lamorne that have been changed. How many have I killed so far? Specimen Griever is alive and preserved. Not reading the pod names. Oh, this one's not so good. Pod glass destroyed. Cell culture and preservation liquid has leaked. Life signs of the Specimen Griever have ceased. Specimen Griever's metabolism currently at minimum. All readings from Specimen Griever read normal. Recovery Pod Management Terminal tracks the state of the contained specimen and sends data to a remote database. Operates normally in low power mode. So my controller was vibrating over there. Security gate sealed. Releasing the lock unit attached to the rear side will allow it to open. Monitor in standby while low power mode is active. Ice that has thickened over time, it can be melted using high temperature tools. Ah. Surveillance monitor containing a TK code. Monitor stabilizer broken, causing it to fall. Its power has been cut, disabling the display. Contains a blood sample. Day 97, analysis. We are monitoring subjects who have had GE administered here. Regardless of GE concentration, there do not appear to be any significant differences. We see regeneration without an apparent mutation to alter the cells. Furthermore, no matter how deep our analysis, we have yet to see any apparent chromosome abnormalities. It is almost as if they are natural creatures. Put another way, if we were to judge based on DNA, there are no significant differences between them and us. What is going on? And we got a closed hatch that we cannot access. So genetically, Grievers and Lamorne are one and the same. There's no mutation involved in turning one into the other. That would definitely be a troubling thing to learn. Used for specimen transport, can be reconfigured to work as an operating table. The mat is made of a hardened gel material. Specimen thawing station quickly and safely resuscitates frozen specimens without returning them to consciousness. Unused DNA sample storage case. Used for extracting DNA for experimentation. Day 117, breakthrough. We may have had a breakthrough today. Until now, we presumed that the physical transformation was triggered by something in the crystals, causing compositional change in the GE, which would in turn cause an abnormality in gene transcription. Yet that is not the case. In actuality, an unused region of the brain linked with the crystals is stimulated, and as a result, genes that would normally have stayed pseudogenes were transcribed. I now wonder, are we unlocking a blocked evolutionary branch? This would mean the great tragedy was merely one possible evolution of one potential future. So, with that in mind, what would happen if, when administering GE, we disabled those genes at the moment that the rapid cellular proliferation is triggered? There should be sufficient value in attempting this to justify altering the Balsale system's programming. Cap must be removed with physical force, and a ventilation fan is active inside. Huh, so there is. Weird place to hide a missile expansion for the people who built this place, but whatever. Well, that looks fancy. Balsale system, primarily used to perform experimental autopsies, online. Activation will set it to operating mode. Lamorne-made operating table uses a gravity tuning device inside the padding to stabilize specimens without the need for restraints. Two wheel sizes allow for easy and smooth rotation, currently configured to function as an operating table. Recording camera drone developed to autonomously record video, including medical procedures. A powerful impact has rendered it non-functional. Storage shutter. It appears to have stopped mid-activation. Access code approved. Autopsy systems activated. Storage mode disabled. Operating mode initialized. Active Balsali system containing a TK code. Balsali system. Its ultra-high-performance multiprocessor and 145 installed surgical tools accommodate many types of complex surgery, not just autopsies. I hear an item, but it's probably the missile expansion in the room over there that we can't get in yet. Part of the cryopod rail system, the column secures the and releases pods for distribution. It is linked to the loading platform. Day 138. Attempt. We were so close. It seemed like we had succeeded in disabling the problematic genes and also resetting the cells, causing the rapid proliferation process to replicate normal genetic information and restore their state. However, for some reason, we were unable to stabilize it. The subjects reverted. Right now, I want to check over the genetic analysis and to see if there were any problems in our process. I do not want this setback to have been for nothing. There's a TK code in there. Cryopod, equipped with life preservation systems able to keep specimens dormant semi-permanently, switches to an internal battery if disconnected from power. Bulk cryopod storage, all pods functioning normally while in low power mode. Pod storage crane travels vertically along rails on the walls, managing cryopods containing Griever specimens. Stored pods remain operational while the facility is in low power mode. To extract a specimen, first socket its pod, then open the hatch by touching the hologram. Opens the hatch of a socketed cryopod. Online. Not feeling much from there. Feeling a lot from here. Not feeling much from here. So this one is mandatory. Griever specimen containing a TK code. That just seems kind of rude to hide a TK code in there. Because isn't that a transformed one of your people? Disrespectful to hide a TK code in there. Griever specimen. Battery depletion led to specimen's death. The drop in room temperature caused it to freeze afterward. And if we open the other two... Completely frozen due to the drop in the laboratory's temperature. No life signs detected. Battery depletion ultimately led to specimen's death. It has frozen completely. Just making sure there's no goodies for us. Okay, so we need to restore power before we can get any goodies there. Hello? Seems odd that that would suddenly rupture. Perhaps a hint of something to come? Should have gone down first. Would have been more efficient, because then we go like that and that. And then like that, yeah. If I started by going down, we wouldn't have had to retrace any lines. Day 214, resignation. Our resources are running very low, and we are almost out of the chemicals needed for research and experiments. At the same time, progress remains at a standstill. Naturally, there is a rising sense of panic and resignation. We cannot hope for more chemicals to arrive, and if we use up what we have before the experiment succeeds... No, even if it succeeds, and with what we have left... And we are losing researchers. Everyone is likely thinking the same thing. I've missed a log. So it should be in here, because this is where attempt was. Yeah, day 138 attempt, so somewhere in here should be a log that I have overlooked. There it is. Day 205, limit. Since the lab experiments began, several subjects have been brought in each day. The lab is close to capacity and, tragically, countless brethren have lost their lives while securing these subjects. I think we should stop gathering subjects, if only because our restoration experiments have thus far been unsuccessful. And now we may proceed. I ought to save before we go somewhere unknown.
Samus, looks like you made it through another floor. You're getting close to the generator.
Security storage contains vital medicines and experimentation equipment. Door sensor offline. Laboratory heavy door comprises 5 parts with a sensor in its center. It is much stronger than standard doors. Still opens the same, though. And now we can see these things. Lightweight vertical wind turbines made to withstand the valley's severe winds. When the facility is in low power mode, wind power fulfills all energy needs. Also, energy tank, right over there. I see you. And now we're outside. They're gone. I didn't quite finish my scan. Cargo gondola lift, used for transporting cargo and research staff over the valleys below. Reinforced cables proof it against strong winds, currently offline. Yeah, I'm probably not meant to walk across during the strong winds. So how is one... Whoa. The winds push us. How is one meant to get that E-tank? Probably with some new jump ability I don't have yet. Or with a jump ability I already do have, or with grapple. Okay, I don't have psychic grapple, only psychic lasso. Oh, okay, we're not falling into the abyss. And yet... the anchor chain joiner connecting the wind turbine to the rock wall is damaged. A strong shock will break it. I suppose that's one way to get through things. Interesting that our arm cannon ices over even when we've got our heat gun active. Well, no going back that way. Hopefully they didn't need that specific turbine. Excuse me. shutter linked to bomb slot. Activating the bomb slot will unlock the shutter. Currently offline. Day 289, records. There's little more we can do. Every experiment has ended in failure, and the results remain unchanged. If we put the facility into low power mode, it should remain intact for as long as there are maintenance tanks to look after it. We can leave behind our records, but will anyone ever see them? If so, will they succeed where we could not? No, this is not the time for doubt. We must do everything we can. That's some very clear ice. Data Archive, Cluster 01, Cryogenic and Bioform Studies, Containment Unit Research and Development. Cluster 02, Captured Specimen Identification and Medical Records. Contains data on past laboratory experimentation and research on bioforms, including recordings, currently offline. And I'm guessing that provides power, but it's offline too? Cluster 03, Treatment Examination, Ceros 001 through 43, Y460-410 through Y460-412. I'm guessing Y is a year. So 2 years worth of data. Cluster 04, Psychic Experimentation and Genetic Transformation Research and Development. Cluster 05, Video Log Backups of Experimentation and Treatment. Transport tube offline. That looks like it wants an electric shot. What were you guys trying to get into? A save room? When presented with a save room, I will save. Day 293, Query. We have finally reached the end of our resources. Tomorrow we will abandon this lab and, at Chatoya's instruction, move to Chrono Tower, built in Soul Valley. We will not be able to save our brethren. Why could we not find a way to stabilize the Griever cells when they reverted to their Lemorn counterparts? What did we miss? I will ponder this for the rest of my life. Well, we've reached the generator room. Generator maintenance slot, used by maintenance tanks for turbine upkeep. Each turbine has its own dedicated slot. Lemorn-made magnetic turbine spins using a magnetic field created and sustained by the main generator. This generates enough electricity for the entire laboratory. Mobile ramp. The hatch can be activated from the linked terminal, granting access to a lower level. Mobile ramp terminal. Currently offline. Starting the main generator will bring it online. Day 294. Prayer. Just now, the main generator has stopped. This means that the boiler we use for heat will also stop. The temperature will drop, and I expect the facility will be frozen solid. The area will switch to low power mode, which uses wind energy. This should be enough to maintain operation of the cryopods in which our brethren sleep. I believe we have done everything we could here, but ultimately we could not save our kind. I am overwhelmed with helplessness. I trust the words of Chatoya that someday our savior will appear. All I can do right now is pray. I am Targon, and I am utterly defeated. But not so utterly that there aren't 4 more logs. Main generator startup device, used to initiate turbine rotation, currently offline. So, surely there must be a way to get it online. Slot connector, links the generator startup device to the bomb slot used for its activation, can extend by pulling. Mobile bomb slot can be pulled along the rail using physical force. Operates normally once attached to a slot connector. So this looks to be a spider ball track. Only usable by one who has the psychic spider ball. Yep. I ain't got that. So... yeah, I should have figured that wouldn't do anything. So giving that a yank did what? I see, I need to get this into position, then give that thing a yank. I feel like this should never have been detached to begin with. Why did they design it so it could be detached? Turbine hologram display shows the current state of the main generator turbine. All systems appear normal. Except that's not the current state. Because here they're all flush with one another, but here they're offset. They're having problems, huh? Gee, do I need to use a control shot there? Fan malfunctioning due to extended disuse. A strong burst of energy to the center will force its activation. And yeah, I clearly need control shot to be able to fire through this thing spinning and into that hole. nifty music.
Hey, you got the power back on. Rendezvous up top and we'll talk next steps.
Okay. Let's get access to this lower area, because there was a pickup behind the generator. And I don't think I can just walk on through to it at this point. Oh, I see. This isn't what I thought I saw behind the generator. Yep, they do not want us touching that. Well, if I fire one of these off, we can get a closer look. Okay, maybe there's nothing back there. It'd be neat if they had this ice all melt before our eyes, like, quickly instead of just in drips. I suppose that would imply much greater temperatures than we're actually seeing. Controller terminal online. However, the device it controls is frozen and cannot be operated. Well, that's useless. And now we've got these ice roaches looking for cold somewhere, anywhere, I assume. Full power restored. Caution, circuitry failures are causing dangerous electrical discharges. Be careful near high voltage currents and electric arcs. Might as well save. Commencing the regenerative treatment of Subject 763. We have done everything we can. This will be the final attempt. Genetic adjustments are complete. Initiating injection of refined GE. Now. Abnormality with rapid cell proliferation has occurred. Suspend the sequence. No. It didn't work again. Treatment of subject 763 has failed. Place the subject in the healing pod. I will inform Chatoya. How unfortunate. I was thinking that each of these would become a scannable once power was restored, but nope. Data corrupted due to the deep freeze. Only the most recent recording can be accessed. And I can press this to access it again. Yep. So, surely we unlocked that little space for a reason, and yep, it's because this is too high to jump out. Full power restored to the laboratory. Door sensor online and awaiting beam activation. Nothing. Nothing. And ice roaches. Sorry, snow roaches. Ah, but
Come
there's
back
another
to
one.
the control room. I'm waiting for you upstairs.
I know you're waiting, but I'm looking for stuff. External temperature measurements. Average temperature of one cycle, 253.15 LK. Lowest temperature, 219.15 LK. Shame we don't really have any context for what those numbers mean. Internally installed camera data terminal. Drive damaged. Data cannot be read. Gotta leave that E-tank behind. Though... Oh. We can only mark the room. Terminal online and functional. However, the linked device has frozen and malfunctioned. The activation hologram will not display. Shutter terminal online and operational. However, the circuitry connected to the shutters has been damaged by the deep freeze, rendering the controls ineffective.
What the... Something triggered the alarm. I can't override security.
Wonder what those guys were doing in here.
I'm not sure what's happening. This whole facility just went into lockdown.
Yeah, probably some of the grievers woke up is all. Cryopod running on normal power. The rapid increase in room temperature has caused the pod to malfunction, and its internal temperature is rising. Surely no griever will hop out of that behind me. What? Who could have seen this coming? Frostburn Griever. Griever variant awakened from cryopreservation. The preservation liquid used has resulted in a loss of pigmentation, though their aggressive nature remains. Frostburn Grievers are those that have been revived from cryopreservation. Prolonged submersion in preservation liquid has leached all pigmentation from their skin, resulting in a pale gray appearance. Physical adaptations have also occurred, increasing resilience to extreme cold, yet weakening them against high heat. Their high aggression and agility are retained from before cryopreservation, spurring them to track and attack prey in every corner of the facility. Perhaps owing to their near-simultaneous awakening, these grievers frequently move in groups, though no individual appears to be leading them. I do need to go in here again. Because... down here. And that looks like a spider ball track. So... time to... mark this on the map. We're allowed to have more than one marker at a time, right? Okay, good. How many markers are we allowed? Yeah, I probably should have waited for the electricity to be done first. Now, how are we meant to get all the way up there? That is clearly for later. I know it's not a missile expansion, but... Ah. More spider ball.
I'm picking up a lot of activity. What's happening down there?
Yeah, just some grievers. One of them went in the hole. Storage shutter destroyed. The damage appears to have been caused by physical force. Destroyed cryopod. The hatch has been forced open from the inside. All life signs have ceased. No data from body temperature, pulse, breathing, or blood pressure. Recovery pod management terminal monitors the state of the contained specimen and forwards the data to a remote database, currently operating in full power mode. Light maintenance tank inactive. A powerful impact has damaged its internal circuitry. Reboot impossible. Security shutter damaged. It appears to have been torn off using enough physical force to break it entirely. And yet the door behind it is A-OK? Cryopod tracking terminal monitors the specimen inside the socketed pods. Last use unknown. Well, one of them's clearly busted out. The other 5 seem to be fine, though. A 1-2 combination of charge beam and missile seems to get rid of these guys without any issue. Provided you get the charge beam to land, that is. Data Terminal A monitors the recovery room. No data retrievable. Data Terminal B, used for communicating with the surgery room. Last use unknown. Data Terminal C manages cryopods in the storage room. Okay, so... I want to get back out here? No. I want to get back out here. Which means I gotta go through Wait, what? Isn't this where I just came from? Oh, I do want to get back out here. Okay. And I assume I gotta yank this off. Oh, not yank. Strong impact. Thank you for opening that for me, bud. I survived that? Dude just reflected my missile. And apparently sometimes they survive the charge beam missile combo. Well, might as well save when we have the opportunity. And this takes us down to a security shutter that we had to circumvent earlier, and is in fact still closed.
Samus, copy. I got red dots on my radar.
Yeah, you got red dots on your radar. That's how it goes sometimes. But I'm working on it. Okay, so in here, was there anything that was unusable due to the power situation? I feel like the answer is no. Might as well take a look. Because who knows, maybe there's a new scannable somewhere. DNA sample data terminal B manages data sent from its sample storage case. Terminal A. Terminal A. Can't operate it though. I was pressing A every time I shot there. I just wasn't in the correct position to interact, I suppose. Hologram of Planet Vuros, currently displaying Griever tracking information gathered and compiled by each G tracking terminal. G-Tracking Terminal 3, Great Minds. Location telemetry of latest scan refresh, Z sector. Lock on GPS data points, 0. Terminal 2, Soul Value. C sector, 19 data points. Fury Green, Y sector, 33 data points. Flare Pool, B sector, 9 data points. Password required to search its data. Acts as a backup for Terminal A. So, inoperable.
They're coming for me! Going off comm. Meet you upstairs.
Unfortunately, bud, you're not the only one they're coming for. Not gonna lie, that's not what I expected. But also, that's not the direction we need to go yet if we want to get an item. Okay, we cannot do whatever is required to get that item yet. Which I suppose means that we should put a marker in here.
Samus, you made it! Let's take care of this! Coming to prevent! In my sights. Acquiring target. One down.
Game, I know you want me to lock onto the thing on the door, but I have more pressing concerns right now. Well, that was interesting. Oops. Well, apparently that was the last enemy, so, good timing on falling, I guess.
Solid work, Samus. Power's back online. Feels like the heat is too. Might be what's drawing those strange creatures. You'll be able to use that elevator now. It'll give you access to the deepest level. I'll hang back and try to open the gate from up here. The rest is up to you.
Can't help but feel like it's not the smartest idea to leave you all by yourself, though. Isn't the main control terminal online, though? Well, down I go. Betcha this is a save over here. Look, things, we're gonna get the spinner soon, maybe. Or maybe we need to come back here after getting the spinner. This needs the shock lock done. We're definitely not getting both the spinner and the shock lock. Or the electric shot, rather. Wheeled Vehicle Storage Management Terminal. Logs vehicles entering and exiting the vehicle bay. Online. However, the controls are inoperable due to the deep freeze. Vault hatch. Materials storage for maintaining the underground dome. Completely frozen. It cannot be moved. Dome Surveillance Terminal B operates surveillance and environmental controls within the dome. No hazardous life forms detected. Well, that's good. Dome lock disengage input Terminal B. Requires password input to disengage the locking bolt and open the door. Link to Terminal A. Both terminals must disengage their locks simultaneously. Alternatively, after the clamps have been manually released, the gate can also be opened from the terminal in the control room. Surveillance Terminal A collects uploaded surveillance and environmental data from inside the node. No abnormalities detected. And lock disengage input terminal A requires password input. Link to terminal B must disengage simultaneously or do the thing control room clamps.
I tried to open that gate, but it won't respond. See anything?
Yeah, I see clamps I gotta yank off. Quarantine chamber for dangerous bioforms. Bioforms considered too difficult to control in a laboratory setting are kept in a special underground containment facility built into a natural cavern. The entry gate is secured with 2 clamps. Once the clamps are manually released, the gate can be opened by 2 staff simultaneously operating its control terminals or remotely from the control room. So this is the place for dangerous bioorganisms. But there's no hazardous life forms in there. Okay. So clearly it's vacant. And I have nothing to worry about. There will not be a boss fight in here.
That did the trick. Opening now. Happy hunting.
What do you mean happy hunting? There's no dangerous bioforms in here. Controls the quarantine access lift used for moving supplies and staff. The lift has been removed with reinstallation still pending. Dangerous Bioform Research Terminal. Collects research data on bioforms quarantined inside the dome. The surveillance system terminal also keeps a backup. But there are no dangerous bioforms here. We've been told as such by the surveillance thing. Railing for guiding a lift. Analysis implies it would move using the grooves along the sides. The railing forms a U-shaped shape or slope. So we are 100% getting boost ball here. In this place where there are no dangerous bioforms. Oh, it's going to be a mechanoid, isn't it? Excuse me. I was told there were no dangerous bioforms. Is this just a giant version of them little spiky zoomer guys we saw at the very entrance of this place? Keratos. A giant cingulata-like organism covered in a hard shell. Only lives in extremely frigid areas and is capable of creating ice from air moisture. It possesses sensory organs below the carapace on its head and opens its shell to identify enemies or attack with its mouth. Metroid integration has altered its body composition, leaving its core completely exposed. Keratos is a giant cingulata-like creature, double Samus's height, inhabiting Ice Belt. Its body is covered in a hard outer shell that resembles the peak of an iceberg and is impervious to firearms. Behind the shell segment on its head are sensory organs and a mouth. This shell segment opens when it wants to identify prey, at which point it will spit icy boulders. If the sensory organs behind the shell are significantly harmed, Keratos is known to enter an agitated state. It will curl into a ball, spin, and launch itself at its attacker. Integration with a Metroid has also altered its body, completely exposing its abdominal core. Unique hybridization means Keratos is a one-of-a-kind mutant being. It was highly intelligent and could communicate its will to Lemorn priests. Sadly, Metroid integration has irreversibly altered its consciousness and body composition. Why does breaking the ice make it stop sucking? I was told that this charge shot had a piercing effect. And it looks like charging the fire shot does way more damage than the standard charge shot, which honestly makes some sense. These are probably scannable. They are. But they don't appear to be a logbook entry. Ice block formed by Keratos using ambient humidity, named gust crystals by the Lemorn, they slowly track their target and collapse on contact, damaging and freezing the threat. I did not mean to enter morphball mode, I just pressed a wrong button. Oh, do I need to get it to run into one of these icy wall segments? Yep. Okay, so the more wall segments it hits, the fewer can be used to get it stuck. But it then refreezes them all, so what even was the point of having them break? Too much of my ammo. Also, the inability to do a jump dash while already in the air is a bit problematic. Gonna not use ammo for a bit until we get another drop at least. Really, no ammo drop. Just making sure those aren't scannable. And that should end it. Would you look at that? It's Boost Ball. But it's Psychic Boost Ball. Yep. Because everything's psychic. They can't just be regular power-ups. Give me the thing. I like how Samus reaches for it. But then reaches away. Or doesn't reach for it anymore if you look away. So that's 3 out of 5.
You've done well, Samus. I'll meet you up top.
Can't believe the security systems lied to me. Saying there's no dangerous things. Only found that because I heard it sound and then saw on the map that, hey, there's a little chamber there. Let's drop a save before we spin the spinner.
Samus. Looks like you got what you came for. A message came through the station radio while you were gone. Somebody named Specialist Mackenzie, he sent over the coordinates for base camp, so I'll be on my way soon. Now, I've been on a lot of missions. This has always protected me.
So you should keep it.
May Solon light your path. You go on ahead. There's a healing pod up here, and I'll be as good as new in no time.
You sure you want to make the trip on your own, though? Considering what you had to save me from on the way in here? Neat if I could use this. Seriously though, this says that the main control terminal must be online to unlock. Where is the main control terminal then? Was there anything else in this entire base that needed boost ball? We needed grapple, spider ball, electric beam. So, no. Everything requires either electric beam or grapple or spider ball. Though I do believe, well, this needs boost ball. Completely just reusing a mechanism from Prime 3. I believe the hot place, the volcano, we needed boost ball to proceed there. And now that we've got it, we can proceed there. We didn't get to scan those guys. Yes, we did, apparently. It was the guys in the valley that we didn't get to scan fully. I'm guessing that we can open that by giving it a yank from here, and that's why we were able to open this? Oh. Is this going to get us a cold beam? Is this going to get us an anything? There's a spinner there. Or no, a grapple crane. Draws power from the linked spinner. So there is a spinner in here somewhere. But how can I reach it? Oh, is this door just going to open now? No. I am a fool. Though maybe I needed to supply power to this place before I could do this. Yeah, probably needed to power the place up before I could do that. Surely that's a freezy chip. It's too blue to be shocky. Yep, that is a freezy chip. Yes, I'm passing by a save station, but we'll see another before too long. Oh, so this is a load screen. So we still don't have grapple, so we can't get there. Oh, hey, we can tug on things, so we might be able to yank whatever's in the sand out now.
Congratulations, you got another teleporter key. Only 2 keys left. And it looks like you found more Lemoore technology in Icebelt. I might be able to help you. Can you bring it back to base camp? By the way... I saw the data you acquired. I can't believe the Grievers used to be Lemoore.
Where you want me to go, game? I was opening the map so that I could see the map. Gone all around the perimeter of the desert. But haven't explored basically anything on the interior. This desert would be a lot more interesting if there was more to it than just the occasional crystals. Like, I get there's some large structures, like that one over there. But most of this desert is just desert. And yeah, they give us a bike to traverse it, but if they didn't give us just a giant desert, we wouldn't have even needed a bike to traverse the giant desert. It's just a giant boring desert. They needed to have more to do here instead of just sand to play around in on a motorcycle. In what Metroid game have people been like, oh, you know what, this game could really use a motorcycle to play around in sand with? In no Metroid game has that been what people wanted. And so why is it even a thing? Ooh, these are new type of bird. No, they're gullbats again. Why'd I have to rescan them? I've left 3 segments unexplored. This cannot stand. Where are you? Why can't I scan you? I'm not trying to scan the green energy crystal, game. Aeronaut. Prototype anti-griever weapon developed by the Lemorn after the Great Tragedy. They were never deployed in battle. Then why are they deployed now? Probably Silux. The Aeronaut is an anti-sandgriever battle mechanoid designed by surviving Lemorn technicians following the Great Tragedy. Its large anti-gravity engine and 7 attitude control wings allow for exceptional aerial maneuvering. When its hull-mounted camera identifies a griever, it begins a continual bombardment of the area using delayed-action energy bombs. However, the Lemorn detested using aggressive attacks on grievers and so avoided deploying the Aeronaut in battle. And now we know why they detested using aggressive attacks on grievers. Wow, what an interesting segment of desert we have now explored. We haven't filled in a lot, but it's something. Also, I can remove this marker. Have we seen anything in the Fury Green that requires the lasso? Nothing's coming to mind. Nor anything that requires a freezy beam, so we can probably just go straight to Mackenzie and then straight out. Though, looking at the time, we're not going to go straight out. We are going to do the ice tutorial room, I guess. We gotta pass by the elemental tutorial rooms before we can get the ice weapon. There is a thing for a Shocky, but that's not a Freezy. And therefore, we have probably nothing to do in there still.
Welcome back, Samus. Come on, show me what you found in Icebelt. Alright, let's take a look. Okay. Dude. Hello, friend. Okay, analysis first. Oh, this is fascinating. It looks like this program inverts the energy emitted from the device. That means if I reprogram this and set it into your arm cannon, you should be able to use a new shot type.
So ice shots can solidify lava and magma.
Yeah,
That
you
is
can use
good
Ice
to know.
Shot. It temporarily freezes the target when hit. You can freeze living organisms to stop their movement. And you should be able to use it on high temperature objects like magma to freeze it for a short period of time by lowering its surface temperature. If you find anything else, bring it into me. I'm sure I can turn it into something useful.
Well, we know where we have to go next. And that is actually over here.
Use them all up with Ice Shot.
Because we got to deposit our green energy. How much of a glow do we get now? Seems higher than before. Oh, Psychic Beam upgrade. Travel faster and are more damaging. I like that. They look more damaging too. Looks like they might even travel fast enough that Grievers can't respond to them in time anymore. That is a handy upgrade. A history of the Ice Mountain's master. Well, let's see it. It lived beyond thick ice, where frozen shards danced on gale winds, and frigid breath met any approach. In its mind was intolerance, living isolated and intemperate like an aloof warrior. It called itself Keratos. His nature was that of violence, and at the peak of his fury, Keratos was known to throw his giant body at any who might stoke his rage, or spin so quickly that icy pillars would form. It was through communion with Thessar that a warmth took root in his heart. Slowly his rage subsided, and he became more taciturn. In time, this calmer Keratos would be hailed as a guardian deity of the Lemorn. All right. Ice Shot makes our arm cannon look less icy than Ice Beam did in Metroid Prime 1. Just saying. Though maybe that'll change if we get the charged Ice Shot and charge it up.
Well, hello there, stranger.
Was kind of hoping he'd react to there being an Ice Shot fired.
Here.
Only takes one Ice Shot to freeze things. The problem with Ice Shot being a shot that disables missiles is it's not so easy to do the classic follow-up ice with missile thing. The freezing of flowing water is precisely how one's first steps are to be taken. Remember this. Like a river that flows along the land, water travels within living things, bestowing its life-giving moisture. Freezing the water carried in all who live will blow out the candle of life. Do not forget this. Understand this, you who command the power of ice. To steal heat from every object of the world is an act to bring about stillness. Platform created from porous rocks with little mass, set atop a fountain spout. It will rise as water pushes up from the spout. Fountain with a psychic moat socket. Its water is sourced from beneath the temple. While a moat is socketed, it spouts water at a fixed pressure. So we freeze that there, then we steal this moat, put it there. Then we freeze that. And now we get this. And I imagine without freezing either of those, Samus's weight would have pushed the rock down. Alright, just one more shot type to get. I believe those used to take 3 shots, so potentially our beam is up to 50% stronger than it used to be.
Hi, Samus. Welcome back.
Anyway, it is about time for me to call this a stream. So thanks, folks, for dropping by, and I will be back possibly tomorrow. Not 100% sure, but possibly tomorrow. And definitely... no, not... Well, maybe Tuesday. Probably not, though. Gotta take my cat to the vet on Tuesday, and I'm gonna have to stay up stupid late on Monday night night/morning to do that, because it's easier for me to stay up 3 hours late than to wake up 6 hours early. So I'll probably be sleeping at normal stream time on Tuesday, but Wednesday, definitely. Possibly tomorrow for streams. So yeah, see you maybe tomorrow and definitely Wednesday, friends.